29th, and I call the Linden Board of Education meeting, call it open. Let's stand and salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to apologize for some of my board members not being here tonight. We have a couple of them came down with the flu, but I'm here all alone up here, and as an educator myself, I'm always trying to train, develop, encourage, and motivate my board members. So today I want to invite a board member to come join me here and be acting vice president of the board tonight. If she would be more than kind to join me. Lamari Cintron? Yes, thank you. I tell you. Thank you. You know, there is a saying, age should bring wisdom. I once asked someone, you know, we always hear the saying that age brings wisdom, but I never understood that term. I just think when age just makes you old, right? So, but one day I spoke to a gentleman who graduated from West Point, and I was speaking to him about age and wisdom. And I said, what do you think brings wisdom? Does age bring wisdom? He said to me, and I never forgot it, he said, one could get wisdom, acquire wisdom at any age. There's two ways to acquire wisdom. And, you know, some of us may not be Christians, but he said Jesus taught us what gives us wisdom. He said, in order to get wisdom, two things must occur in your life. You gotta love a lot, and you gotta suffer a lot. And for me, I spent most of my life loving, hurting, suffering. But I always became a better person when I came out through the darkness. Because one of the things I understood while I was walking through the darkness, I was never alone. So I always came out stronger and better for it. This is why as an educator, all I try to do is teach. And for all you older people in the audience sitting here today, we have to become role models for the younger generation. We have to continue to teach them. We have to continue to develop them. We have to let them know that the world could be a beautiful place, but only if you give your best to each other. Thank you. In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as follows. On January 10, 2024, notice was sent to the Home News Tribune, the Tapapinto Linden, Star Ledger, Union County Local Source, and the clerk of the municipality. By state law, there is no smoking permitted in this building at any time. In accordance with the listed items in this agenda, this Board of Education may discuss and act upon other items not specifically referred to herein, as is allowed at the regularly scheduled monthly board meeting under the Sunshine Law. Roll call.
Ms. Cintron.
Present.
Mr. De La Cruz.
Present.
Ms. Pino.
Present.
Ms. Rosada Quesada. Ms. Thomas. Ms. Ulisi.
Present.
Ms. Armstead,
Present.
Ms. Carrillo, and Dr. Berghammer.
Present. Our next agenda item is approval of minutes. Motion to approve the minutes.
Need a motion in a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Cintron,
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz,
Yes.
Ms. Pino,
Yes.
Ms. Ulisi,
Present. Yes.
Ms. Armstead,
Yes.
and Dr. Berghammer.
Yes. Now, this is the part of the meeting I really enjoy. The voice of the students, the parents, and the general public. Comments from the public. Members of the public desiring to make a public comment may come forward at this time. For those watching online, if you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please utilize the raise your hand feature on the online meeting platform. Please begin your comments by stating your name and address. Individuals are invited to speak on one topic at a time, and no individual will speak more than once until all individuals so desiring have spoken once. The public is reminded that to ensure the efficient and orderly operation of the meeting, members of the public will be limited to speaking on agenda items for 3 minutes. Once again, I want to remind the public that we have a clock there, and the clock will start at 3 minutes when you begin to speak. And when the 3 minutes is up, the clock will go to 0. We are asking you to respect the time because we have members of the public who is watching online. They complain that we are keeping the meetings too long because the comment section goes too long. So please, I welcome you up to the podium to speak at this moment.
Testing 1, 2, 3. My name is Fatin Sumrain. I reside at 101 West Curtis Street in Linden, New Jersey. And I am here to speak. I haven't got a chance to look at the agenda just yet. I just walked in. But if you'd allow me to speak, I would appreciate that. So I was a former student of Linden as well as an educator in Linden Public Schools. And for about 8 years, my duties as the ESL teacher at McManus Middle School included testing students who are new to the country, as well as teaching them English, but most importantly, providing them with a safe and comfortable environment. Although I no longer work in the district, I care deeply about my city, and I have numerous family members who still teach at or attend school in Linden. With that being said, I'm sure you're all aware of the atrocities happening in Palestine as we speak. And I can stand up here today and give you a list of crushing statistics, such as 1 in every 25 Gazans are now dead or injured. At least 30,000 people have been killed by Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, 8,500 women, and over 13,000 innocent children. These figures may be higher as there are so many unaccounted bodies under the rubble. More than 65,000 people have been injured, and 1.7 million people have been displaced from their homes, which is a total of 75% of the total population. And over 500 trucks used to enter Gaza daily, and now only 100 or 66 enter to feed the 2.5 million Gazans. And yet the genocide continues in Palestine today. My parents and grandparents have endured the same oppression and displacement since 1948. Please forgive my brief history lesson, but the reason why I mention this is because the 75-year brutal occupation has only been glossed over as a current event or taught as a supplementary lesson in history classrooms. Instead of hearing about the plight of the Palestinian people, we hear terms such as terrorists, suicide bombers, and aggressors, both in written and video assignments given by teachers in Linden before October 7th. When brought to the attention of the supervisor, it was glossed over and minimized, bringing up the teacher's good character, as if that could explain their not-so-implicit racism and anti-Palestinian sentiments. This forced silence through repression of dissent is being perpetrated in our district. And I'm afraid, just like you have apathy for those atrocities, the refugees coming from Gaza today are met with similar disregard. While we celebrate some refugees in our curriculum in our city, we turn a blind eye to the suffering and traumas of others. And I ask you, why is that? Ask yourself, why is it so easy for us to say, I can't get involved in this conflict? Why is it so easy for us to gloss over things that are affecting your citizens? The many Palestinian citizens of residents of Linden deserve fair representation. It should be in the curriculum as a mandatory part of learning in history classes. Thank you for your time.
This board, thank you for your comment.
Hi, Donna Hernandez, 133 Princeton Road. On the education report, number 17, I have a question regarding the dates for May 23rd and 24th. Is that going to be a full day? Because that's the day of prom, and the kids usually get a half a day so they can go home and get ready. But if that's a testing day, and then, if it is a full day, and I know, like, my daughter has appointments already scheduled, hair and makeup starting at, like, 1:30. If she goes in, because I don't think she needs to take, do the testing, I think she did, both sections or whatever section she's good with. If she goes in at 10:15 and leaves, say, 1 o'clock, is that going to consider a full day for her? If kids go in late and then leave early to go for their appointments. That was my concern. And then I see usually they're off May 24th, but I see because that's testing, we're not going to get that as a snow day. So I don't know, can the testing, I'm assuming it's a state testing, it can't be rescheduled to other dates. I don't know, I just didn't know if anybody realized that, so I just wanted to point that out, that, that day is prom, so there's not just seniors, but all grades that, are asked to go to prom will be looking to, leave and get ready. That's all, thank you.
That's a good point. Would you take it? Yes, please. Thank you, Mrs. Hernandez. That's a very good observation. We would take it under advisement and make the necessary changes, because I know if they are prom, these girls are going to get their hair and nails done. Yes.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Any more comments from the public? Is there anyone online?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. I just had a quick question. This is Christine Orekie, reside in Midvale Place. My question is regarding the substitute teachers. I have a daughter, I have two middle schoolers, one in 6th grade, one in 7th grade. And recently she told me of a substitute teacher that was in the class and pretty much didn't do anything. So I'm just wondering about some of the quality of these substitute teachers in our classes, in our students' classes. It was really concerning. I think this was not just one time, but it was another time as well. So, we're trusting that our students, we're trusting that our students are, in best hands, especially if their main teacher is not present. But we really need to, I don't know if there's a vetting process, any type of testing or something that we can just ensure that as these substitute teachers are coming in to take the place of the main teacher, that they're qualified and, ready to do the work that was, left for them to do. So really, it really concerned me a bit that this took place, and wanted to know, you know, what can be done about it, and if there's a process that maybe I'm not aware of vetting some of these substitute teachers. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your comment. We will look into it with the school and the location. Substitutes are required to be certified in order to get into the classroom. Teachers' lesson plans are to be left for the substitute to carry out the lesson. And we also have additional teachers who write lesson plans if the original teacher was not there. So we will definitely look into this concern.
Anyone else online? Okay, so we are going to move to our next agenda item, which is our superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. I will start my report by acknowledging that past employees are no longer with us. Shirley Kaplowitz was hired by the Linden Board of Education in 1985 as an art teacher. During her 12 years as an art teacher at Linden High School, she worked there until her retirement in 1997. Ms. Kaplowitz passed away on January 27th. Maria Pizzelli was hired by the Linden Board of Education in 1988 as an elementary teacher. She spent 30 years in our district teaching 5th grade at multiple schools, schools 1, 2, and 6. She retired in 2018, and she passed on February 19th. May peace and love and memories comfort their families for both Shirley and Maria during this difficult time. On behalf of the Linden Public Schools, we continue to keep their families in our thoughts and prayers. We have one retirement upcoming for June at the end of the school year, Mr. Harry Birch. Mr. Harry Birch is a biology teacher at Linden High School. He was hired in 2003. He's been teaching biology in our district for over 20 years, and he informed me that he has been an educator prior to 1970. I pause with that because So thank you, Mr. Birch, for your dedication and passion to education, to our Linden Public School families, and we wish you the best for your upcoming retirement with good health, peace, joy, and lots of life experiences outside of the classroom. Our staff attendance patterns for the month of February, compared from this time last year, it is very close. 40% of our staff were absent, and 62% of staff needed a substitute. Now I'd like to draw everyone's attention to one of our new measures for safety and security, and that is our open gate weapons detection system here to my left. The weapons detection system has been implemented at Linden High School. And this is one of our security measures to ensure that our students are safe. The students cannot have their laptops go through the system, but outside of that, everything on their person can remain on them. And we are pleased to announce that through the implementation, well, at the start of the implementation of the weapons detection systems, as well as the random weapons search that we've been doing at both middle schools and the high school, has deemed that there were no weapons found in the last 30 days.
We have good kids.
We have amazing students.
Yeah, we have good kids that attend our school district, I'm happy to say.
So the weapon detection system will remain at the high school, and as you can see, they are portable. So it will also allow us to take them to evening events, and anywhere else that we deem necessary to ensure the safety and security of all occupants that will be in our space. We have additional security measures that's taken place, and I'm pleased to announce our Director of Security, Mr. Aslan, had presented to the board on Tuesday evening and shared out some safety measures, and I'd like to inform the public about that just so that you have a greater awareness. One thing that we've implemented is our lockdown emergency notification system, and that will allow our schools to have paging and intercom, rapid response immediately. There will be bells, sounds, whistles that will go off to if there's ever a crisis event that takes place. We also implemented our Yonder pouches, and I'd like to thank Mr. Walters, middle school principal, for being the first principal to implement the Yonder pouches and to create a blueprint that allowed both Seoul and our high school to follow. And as it was reported previously from one of our high school student representatives, Ms. Azuri Rainey, who couldn't be here this evening, she did state that the students at the high school have been acclimated with the Yonder pouches. They were the last group to have them. And more importantly, student engagement is up, discussions are taking place. We also have for our safety and security measures, is our visitor pass system. Now visitors, in order to come into our building, you will have to show your ID, and we will put it in a system, and the system will print out a digital photo with your information. And that's being implemented in all of our schools. I'm now going to shift. The board spoke to us about implementing and preparing our students and exposing them to scholarships. I'm pleased, excited to announce that there are scholarships available to our multilingual language learners, 4th grade, 8th grade, 12th grade, parents of ESL students, educators who are teaching, now have opportunities to apply for scholarships. This information has been shared out with the student body as well as our educators, so we are excited to get that going.
Mrs. Perkins, can I say something?
Sure.
You know, one of the things I like to do is that I like to meet with all the people in the audience, and even some of my hard-working basketball players and certain seniors sitting in the audience here right now. It concerns me that they haven't applied for scholarships yet. We really need to sit with these students and their parents and see if we could still do something for them. They are Linden students, and it is my goal. It is this, forgive me guys, forgive me. It is this board's goal that no student graduate from our school system without getting some scholarships. Is there any way? We would like to know all the students who have not applied for scholarships. Meet with the guidance counselors. Let's see what we can do to help you. In a lot of cases, it may be too late, but it's still worth trying.
All the time.
Right? Do you guys agree with me? Okay, good.
I'd like to acknowledge a few of our students start from kindergarten and 1st grade. Each year, the Art Educators of New Jersey Association collaborates with the art educators throughout New Jersey to present an exposition of student artwork for the Youth Art Month. We are pleased to announce that 2 of our students, kindergartner Juliet Doran at School 4 and 1st grader Chelsea Tinja at School number 10, their artwork was acknowledged and they are representing Union County. Their work will be displayed at the ground for sculptures in Hamilton, New Jersey. From now until March 23rd, there will be a closing ceremony that will take place. And I'd like to acknowledge their teacher, Ms. Kathy Vincent. When I saw Ms. Vincent at school number 4 a couple of weeks ago, I was there for an event with the mayor, and she beamed with excitement. She interrupted our conversation on purpose because she said, I just want to let you know the great things going on with our students. In that moment, it was clear of her dedication, her passion, and her commitment to our students. Ms. Vincent is also the one who does all of the backdrops for our musicals that take place in our district. So congratulations to those students and also to the fabulous teacher, Ms. Vincent.
Woo, woo.
Congratulations to Abigail Armstead for winning the Talent Hunt singing competition. She now qualifies for the next competition that will be held in Pennsylvania. Congratulations to staff member Ms. Linden Hu for being one of the 10 finalists for the 2024 Princeton Prize for Distinguished Secondary Teaching. It's next phase for Ms. Linden Hu is that the committee will come out and conduct an on-site evaluation of her teaching practices, where she will be interview colleagues, her supervisor, and students to see if she will be the winner of this prestigious award. We wish Ms. Linden Hu the best. Congratulations to Mr. Angelo Monaco, supervisor of the before and after care programs. He has been selected as the National After School Association 2024 Next Generation Leaders. His influence, being a change agent, and commitment to education has been recognized. He's profiled in their upcoming Spring 2024 NAAS After School Today's magazine, and he'll also be going to one of their conferences. Congratulations, Mr. Monaco. I'm going to shift over to our assistant superintendent, who's going to share information about our local partnerships.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. This past Saturday, I am pleased to share 2 events that some of our Linden Public School students were involved in, which were very, very exciting. We have a group of 19 young men from both of our middle schools and high school who participated in the Young Men of Distinction Conference at Union College on the Scotch Plains campus. This conference is hosted by the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha, and they participated in a full day of events from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., along with over 100 other students from Union County. Throughout the day, they had an opportunity to learn about life skills, resilience, communication, and some of our young men learned how to tie ties. I had an opportunity to actually stop by and see our students and support them, and it was truly amazing to see them dressed up in suits and ties, and they truly made Linden proud. I'd also like to thank the 2 chaperones who spent their entire Saturday with our students, Mr. Kevin Findlay and Mr. Jude Petit-Frere. In addition, we also had 16 students from McManus Middle School who participated in the You Be the Chemist Challenge on Saturday. And the challenge was hosted by CEF, a STEM-based company that inspires students and strengthens communities to build the future STEM workforce. The students formed teams and they collaborated with their groups to answer a variety of chemistry-based questions throughout the day. So I want to acknowledge that that was chemistry that they were working on while in middle school. The students are now creating a video response to this year's theme, where they will form a company that has to come up with an innovative solution to a problem. Their team scores will be a weighted competition of their video score and their performance this past Saturday. We placed 4th and 5th out of 14 teams, and this was our students' first time in participating. So that does deserve a recognition. I'd also like to thank the two teachers who participated and supported them along this journey, Ms. Dina Macarelli and Ms. Nicole Marsh. And the top 5 teams throughout the state of New Jersey will have an opportunity to further compete in Texas. So let's wish our students good luck.
Our student to the board, Azari Rainey, could not be here this evening because she wasn't feeling well, but she had asked me to read the following. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I want to provide updates on recent innovations at Linden High School. Many students expressed concerns about the transition time with the newly installed weapons detection system, but the process is now running smoothly. Students remove their computers from their bags, place them above she originally said on the table, but it's now going above the system, and they walk through. Additionally, the new security staff, Arrow Security, is efficient. Furthermore, they are inspired for the upcoming Teacher of the Day event because when she was at McManus Middle School, she had that event and thought it would be best to bring it to the high school. Seniors will shadow a staff member of their choice on Friday, March 8th. In order to participate, students must submit a short essay for review by a committee. This will be a good event for student engagement as it was so successful at McManus Middle School. Additionally, we are organizing a student versus staff volleyball game to all grades after school on March 13th. As the end of the year is approaching, I'm excited for all of the upcoming senior events and the opportunity to conclude the year on a high note. Thank you all for your attention and support as we continue to enhance the students' experiences at Linden High School. And now I would like to call up Mr. Firestone, our athletic director, who is going to be recognizing students for sports achievement.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here tonight to recognize some of our students' athletic achievements so far this school year. We have had quite a few, and I really appreciate Mrs. Perkins inviting us all to tonight's Board of Education meeting. I would first like to thank the entire Board of Education, Dr. Berghammer, Mrs. Lewis, Mr. Serapiglia, Mr. Kuntz, and of course, Mrs. Perkins. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for all of your support. I also know that our coaches, athletes, and parents feel the same way. I would also like to thank our coaches. Much of what they do is not readily visible, and they do not receive enough recognition for their efforts. Our coaches generally share their love of the game, their commitment, their passion, and their dedication to making our teams better and making sure that Linden Athletics is an important component of the educational experience. I would also like to thank all of our parents for supporting our athletes and coaches throughout the year. We can only do so much without the help of all of you and the rest of our community. In regard to our athletic programs as a whole, I am very pleased with the competitiveness, sportsmanship, and pride that our teams exhibited during their seasons. We also had plenty of individual and team achievements. At this time, I would like to start calling up some of our student athletes along with their coaches. First, I would like to start off by recognizing 2 students who have signed athletic scholarships to play at the next level. Davon McClintock and Miles Hamilton, please come up with Coach Al Chiola. Davon McClintock, football player, has earned an athletic scholarship and will be continuing his academic and athletic career at East Stroudsburg University. Davon was a two-year starter on both offense and defense. He was voted a team captain this past season by both his teammates and coaches. He was an extension of the coaches, playing one of the most demanding defensive positions on the field. He finished his career with 25 receptions for 200 yards and 74 tackles and 1 interception. He made all Union County, and all division teams in both his junior and senior seasons. Let's give him a hand. Miles Hamilton, football player, will be continuing his academic and athletic career at Sacred Heart University. Miles had an amazing career on the football field. He was selected for numerous postseason awards and currently holds the record for most tackles in a season and career at Linden High School. Miles was recently selected to the 2023-2024 New Jersey Football Coaches Association Super 100 All-State Team, and that was a long one, and will be playing in the prestigious Phil Simms High School All-Star Football Classic. Miles has proved that hard work on and off the field pays off. He has and will continue to inspire so many with his hard work and dedication. Let's give him a round of applause. Next up, our bowling star, Damian Nieves. Please come up with head coach Jim Orth. Damian took 4th place at the Union County Bowling Championships. Let's give him a round of applause. Next, let's have Nasir Robinson from our boys basketball team come up with Coach Desmond Wade. Unfortunately, Coach Anthony Drea could not make it here tonight. His father recently passed away. Nasir Robinson, a senior at Linden High School, scored his 1,000th career point on January 30th versus Elizabeth High School at Linden High School. Reaching 1,000 points is no small feat. He is one of only 12 players who have ever reached 1,000 points for their career at Linden High School. Let's give him a hand. I would like to now call up Molly McDonald from our swim team with head coach Nicole Gelfand. Molly McDonald was named Linden's National Girls and Women in Sports Day recipient. It gets better. Every winter, an outstanding senior female athlete from each high school is honored as the NJSIAA Female Athlete of the Year with a special award from the National Association for Girls and Women in Sport. The National Girls and Women in Sports Day is here to raise awareness of and act as a reminder about the positive effects associated with sports and the continued need to promote gender equality every year. Molly was also recognized as the NJSIAA Female Athlete of the Year. Congratulations, Molly. Next, I would like to call up a few other swimmers. Let's have Peter Jarzav, Marley McDonald, and Philip Salek. Peter Jarzav, a senior at Linden High School, won the 100-yard freestyle at the Union County Championships at Rutgers University. This is the second year in a row he accomplished such a feat. He also took third in the 50-yard freestyle. Peter qualified for the Meet of Champions in both of these events. Philip Salek, another senior at Linden High School, placed third in the 100-yard breaststroke at the Union County Championships with a personal best of 1 minute, .19. This time also qualified him for the Meet of Champions. Marley McDonald, only a sophomore at Linden High School, qualified for the Meet of Champions in the girls' 50-yard freestyle. Let's give them a hand. At this time, let's have Jaree Ford, Warren Jean, Peter Lewis, Gabriel Morales, and Zahir Muhammad come up from our boys track and field team, along with Coach Daniel McDonald. Also, Coach Micah Pettit-Home. These students have qualified for the National High School Track and Field Championships in the 4x200 meter relay and the 4x400 meter relay. The 4x400 meter relay team also qualified for the Meet of Champions. The 4x200 meter relay is ranked number 1 in Union County, while the 4x400 meter relay team is ranked number 2 in Union County. Both relay teams set indoor school records this year. Let's give them a hand. Okay. I would also like to announce last but certainly not least, I would like to say a few words about our female wrestlers. Although they are not here tonight because some of them have qualified for the state regional championships in Atlantic City, which is a tremendous accomplishment, they have truly made history in Linden. Adriana Fernandez won the first wrestling match in the inaugural Girls Union County Wrestling Championships. She became the first girl ever to become a Union County Wrestling Champion. Let's give her a hand. Layla Soto won the Union County Championships in her weight class as well. She is also a county champion, a state district champion, and a state regional qualifier. Becky Tragoso Montilla, also a state regional qualifier. Let's give her a hand. As I stated, they are now competing in Atlantic City for the next couple of days, so they will not be here tonight. And if it's okay with everyone, I would love to invite the entire girls wrestling team to our next Board of Ed meeting to recognize their accomplishments so far this year. Thank you again, everyone. I appreciate your time.
All right, just want to make sure she's signed. I'm sure she's here quite often. So.
Thank you, Mr. Firestone. We are now going to transition to one of the best parts of our time together is when we can talk about our It Takes a Village program. And that's where we acknowledge a student, a staff member, and a community member for continuing our partnership to build upon why we are here. And that's to support students and also to to really instill and understand that lifelong learning is not a one-way road. It's a two-way street. We are excited for how our students exemplify leadership, expectation of us, and more importantly, they have a vision for themselves. We are thankful for our educators for showing up each and every day in the dedication and commitment to the word educate. And finally, to our community member, you help us hold us together. We need the community each and every day, and that's why it is called It Takes a Village. So I'd like to start with acknowledging our community member, because our community member represents all of the transportation modes that we need to help our students get to and from school. So bus driver, Ms. Lilia Valdez, please come on up. Thank you. Thank you. It starts with you. They see you first before they come. They leave their homes, they see you. And we've heard so many great things about you. It's okay. It's okay. Let them see you. This is what it's all about. So you keep on doing what you're doing. We don't take you for granted. Yes, thank you.
Mrs. Perkins, may I say this? Everyone who works for our district is important and appreciated. We see you.
I know that's right. So now I'd like to recognize our student. Excellent, excellent. How awesome. So now we are going to recognize our student. It's one student out of our 6,500 students who we are excited, I am excited to recognize. I met this student about 3 months ago when I was doing my rounds in schools, and we had a great conversation because she asked me questions. And I was able to hopefully answer them the best that I could, but then I was able to ask her questions. This student is in 6th grade. She attends Seoul Middle School. I have Miss Long, who I'd like to have come up to also share some more information about her. But I want to say that this student, Miss Madison Moray, you are an exceptional leader. I see myself in you. And I hope that when you look out to any adult, that you're able to see yourself in us. Madison, you are on our strategic planning committee. You serve as a grade level leader, and you helped us out with our women's video. When you walk into the room, you have more than something to say. You have a light, a presence, and we are thankful that you are part of the Linden Public Schools District. So you keep on keeping on, young lady, all right? And I'll turn it over to Ms. Long.
I am just so proud of this young lady. When I tell you, there is nothing that I can't ask of Madison that she will not only do for us, but she contributes ideas and she encourages her peers to do the right thing. And that's what it's all about, being able to lead by example. We are proud of you. And I have to say, I almost blew it. Did you catch it today? I said to her, she came down to the office. I said, oh, hey, Maddie, I'm going to see you later, right? She goes, what are you talking about? I said, oh, you know what? Your mom just called and she's going to pick you up early. And so I played it off. But anyway, I'm just very proud of you. We all are, and we want you to continue doing what you're doing. Congratulations. And Mom and Dad, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for your support. You've been there for us, and we just appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd just like to take a minute to add to all of the wonderful praises that we're singing about Madison. I had the opportunity to meet Madison's dad about 2 years ago when he came to enroll her in Linden Public Schools. And he spoke so highly of her character, of her achievement, and who she is as a student. So it has been amazing to actually meet her and see it come full circle. So congrats to you parents as well, because it truly does take a village.
I want to say to this young lady, you may not be able to dance like Beyonce or jump ball like Michael Jordan, but you are just a different kind of a hero. Thank you.
And last, we'd like to recognize a staff member. It gives me great pleasure to say that I worked with this staff member for many years, serving as her building principal, and to watch her show up each and every day for students. She exemplifies what all of our educators serve our students, and that is teaching, learning, love, support, growing, exposure. And I'd like to call up right now Miss Anna Pelez, because I am so thankful to be able to recognize you for the amazing job you've been doing. You keep it on. And we also have our director of our multilingual language learners, Ms. Orlean, who would like to speak to you as well.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me such great pleasure to celebrate Anna Pelez. She is amazing. Her Facebook page tells it all. She's everywhere, very busy. She's very involved. And I feel so blessed to have you in our department. Our children are very lucky. Anna Pelez goes above and beyond for the learning community at school number 6. Anna has assisted our multilingual department in getting the ESL high-intensity Ukrainian program off the ground. Thank you, Anna. As you're all aware, the Linden School District received an influx of Ukrainian students as a result of the war, and she has been very instrumental in helping the families and our children cope with life in the United States. She was proactive in her approach. She started a Ukrainian leadership group. I was really excited. Thank you, Anna. A time for students from the same background to come together and share stories to help themselves acclimate to school life at school number 6. Mrs. Pelez is an exemplary educator, assisting all ESL students at school number 6. Mrs. Pelez is a lifelong learner, committed to her profession. She attends all professional development opportunities. She never stops learning. She is an active participant in the learning community, attending all parental engagement events. She has attended, I don't know how many, we've had several, all of the parental engagement event. We plan, she's there to translate for the parents. She was there when we had our access assessment meeting for the parents. She's everywhere, like I said. She is also the chair of multiple committees at school number 6. She bridges the gap between family and school. She keeps them informed by promoting our school and providing information for all families. And we thank you.
I will now turn it over to our business administrator, Mr. Sarapilia, who will share some information on our upcoming budget.
All right, good evening. This afternoon, we received our projected 24-25 state aid numbers, and it was actually much better than we had anticipated.
Would you speak a little louder?
I'm sorry. We received our 24-25 state school aid numbers, and it was better than it was anticipated. We received for the general fund operations an additional $11 million. We also received an additional $1.5 million for our preschool program. So in total, we're up $12.5 million. So this is really good. This is going to allow us to address a number of things within our budget, while also really not being able to affect the taxes. So we're really happy about it. But yeah, we're going to be looking at continuing with the capital projects as well as expanding programs. And as I spoke about, at the very least, it's going to be a zero tax increase.
So that's good news.
And this will conclude my superintendent's report.
Before we proceed to the next agenda item, I want to personally, in fact, this board wants to personally congratulate all the amazing students, parents, community members for their achievement. We cannot get where we are without people actually believing in their dreams, believing in our school system, and supporting their children. I want to speak for the people of Linden. I hope we continue moving our school district in the direction it is going. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I now pass the mic to my assistant, board president. She's going to take over from here.
Do we have the attorney's report?
Yes, I have two items that I'm recommending for your approval, both of which we discussed at the work session on Tuesday. As a reminder, the first is just to approve the revised collective bargaining agreement between the board and LASA. This just reflects the changes that were made when we negotiated a new contract with LASA several months ago. So this is just incorporating those changes into the actual contract document. That's item one. And then item two is a settlement agreement, which we did discuss and is in the best interest of all parties. So I recommend both of those items for approval, and I'll ask for a motion in a second on items 1 and 2 on the attorney report.
Second.
Was there a first?
Was there first, sir? Yeah. Approve it, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, Brianna second, yes.
Who made the motion? You?
Roll call.
Questions?
Huh?
I didn't know if there was any questions.
Oh, no. Any questions on the attorney report? Roll call?
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. P. Ms. Ulysse?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam President, for allowing me to be the acting Vice President tonight. Congratulations to the individuals who received their awards this evening. A round of applause one more last time for them. We will now continue with our agenda. Ms. Pino, can you please read the education report?
Good evening. The Education Committee, upon recommendation of Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent, pressed the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. I approve motion, items 1 through 29. I respectfully ask for a second. Second.
Any questions?
Are there any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulysse?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes.
Okay, we continue on. The Finance Committee, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator, Board Secretary, present the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. I approve items 1 through 29. I do table number 17, since there are some concerns with the date. I'm sorry, not, numbers 1 through 26, but tabling 17, please.
Do we have to,
Take off EnviroCon?
You should have.
And I respectfully ask for a second.
Number 17 is the retreat. Yes,
The
because
retreat.
Several board members
Retreat.
cannot attend the retreat on the March the 9th.
So we could
So
just
we have to
table?
change the date. Could we just change it like that, or do we have to vote to
You can do
table?
whatever you want. It's, do you know,
We,
I would, the only problem is I don't know if school boards would be available. So,
But we don't have board members.
yeah, if you don't, no, that's
Okay,
what
so
I'm
you
saying.
could either take it off the agenda, or you could just vote no on that particular item.
Okay.
And then when you have a new date, you could put it
Yeah,
back.
'cause I just wouldn't want to say
You
that.
could put it back on the agenda.
Ms. Pino has been the one that is working on getting the board members a day so that we could get it on the agenda.
Okay, yes, I will.
So are you taking it off the agenda, or are you just going to
Yes.
vote no on that?
We'll take it off the agenda. Okay.
Okay. We'll try this again. The Finance Committee, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator, Board Secretary, present the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. Items 1 through 26, please remove though item number 17 because of the date. I respectfully ask for a second.
Second.
So the first thing we're gonna vote on is removing the date, and then we're voting on everything, or just?
Does anyone have an objection to removing?
I believe not. They
Okay,
just
so then we don't have
told me
to-
I'm good. Okay.
We've never really been sticklers for Robert's Rules of Order in the past. There's really no reason to get bogged down tonight.
My question is, do we have We want this done before the ending of the school year, if it's possible.
We're
So-
looking at, to be honest, we're looking at April.
Yes.
To put it back on, March is not good for everybody. It's kind of crunch time, so I believe April, we all discussed this, so we just got to come up with a date for April.
Well, before we come up with a date for April, we also have to discuss it with the Board of Ed to see what day they have available too.
If you can let us know April, what's available, or.
What dates are available
Right,
in April,
absolutely,
okay.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it, yep.
With the committee, right?
No, I mean, I gotta reach out to school boards.
Right, and then,
Smart, Joe.
trying to move us along.
Are there any questions besides my concern? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulyss?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we continue on to buildings, grounds, and security.
Are we on personnel?
Oh, sorry, on personnel report.
Okay.
Brianna Armstead.
The Personnel Committee, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, presents the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. All appointments and reappointments are contingent upon and may be modified based on student participation and the district's receipt of sufficient state school aid and other revenue funding. I would like to make a motion for items 1 through 50. I respectfully ask for a second.
Second?
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulyss?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes.
Moving along to buildings, grounds, and security report. Mr. De La Cruz?
Well, okay, wait, I'm a little off. I thought we were in finance. Next one is finance, then
We did
buildings.
finance, building and grounds.
We just did finance.
We just did.
Yeah, we
Okay,
went
I'm
out of
asleep.
order.
I'm sorry.
That's why I said we're not really sticklers for the.
I need my coffee, I'm sorry. The Buildings, Grounds, and Security Committee, upon recommendation of Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrative Board Secretary, present the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval, numbers 1 through number 12. Looking for second.
Second? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulyss?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes, I do not know if I missed this, but I know on the agenda, we had a conflict with the prom. Did we vote on that item, or was it removed?
No, it wasn't removed because we have to wait.
Yeah, but we had to remove it from the agenda, right?
No,
If
they
we-
told me not to remove it. They said, don't remove it. Go ahead, Joe,
We
sorry.
could amend it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, if you can move the date, you'll move the date and you just amend it at the next meeting.
All right, okay, good. All right.
Okay. Moving along. The Planning and Policy Committee, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, presents the following motion to the Linden Board of Education for approval. I approve items 1 and 2, and I respectfully ask for a second.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulyss?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes.
And now we come to the comments from the public. Members of the public desiring to make a public comment may come forward at this time. For those watching online, if you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please utilize and raise the hand feature on the online meeting platform. Please begin your comments by stating your name and address. Individuals are invited to speak on one topic at a time, and no individual will speak more than once until all individuals so desiring have spoken once. The public is reminded that to ensure the efficient and orderly operations of the meeting, members of the public will be limited to speaking on items for 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Hi, Donna Hernandez, 133 Princeton Road. When you were talking about the scholarships earlier, I have to say, Ms. Goboleski, who I believe is in charge of the scholarships, she is awesome. Once she gets a scholarship from any company, because I have been in contact with her regarding the PTA, as soon as she gets them, she updates them on and puts them on Canvas. And also, I guess there's like a scholarship page. It's just how do we get the students to do them? That's the thing. I don't know if, there's something that can be announced daily at school or, but I know they are being posted. It's just how do we get our students to physically fill out the applications? I also want to wish Molly McDonald and Erica Hernandez good luck next week. Back in October, both of them competed at Kane University in the regional round for the DECA competition. So they will be moving on and going to Atlantic City next week for 3 days to go towards nationals.
Oh.
And regarding the snow days, I know we had 2 allotted on the calendar, we used 1. On the district calendar, it says if snow days are not being used, the days off would be June 24th and June 25th and June 24th. I know when I was asked in the beginning of the year, when they were talking about project graduation, when the president of the Mayor's Youth Commission had asked me when graduation was, I told her it was June 25th, but to just check with the superintendent because it can change. She called me back and said that it would not be changed. She was told it wouldn't be changed. And this is a new place for project graduation this year, and I know the date cannot be changed for that. So I don't know if that, graduation, if, the last day of students is going to be the 24th and teachers the 25th, that's going to be a problem if we don't have our students graduating on the 25th, because they're not going to want to go to project graduation the day after. If they graduate Monday, they're not going to want to come back on Tuesday. So I don't know if something, can be looked into that too. That's all.
Historically, thank you. Historically, project graduation does not change. Many years ago, snow days changed the end of the calendar, the end of the school year calendar. Graduation remains the same day with project graduation, so that will continue. Our calendar will be updated for the March agenda to see where it falls.
Good evening, everybody. Rob Mengel, 18 Trinity Place, Montclair, New Jersey. LHS Social Studies teacher, proud LEA president. I genuinely love hearing about all the wonderful things happening in our district. As I move through on a daily basis and see the things that our staff and students are working towards, it's incredibly heartening. Our students work hard, can be incredibly disciplined, and across the district there is abounding potential. This potential is nurtured each and every day by our staff. As you make your way through the district, you will see faculty and staff acting as caretakers for our students, providing scaffolding as our students learn to stand on their own. And this desire and ability to help our students succeed is what drove us to get into education in the first place. What keeps us in education, what keeps us here, is feeling that same nurturing and support. If we are to spend our time supporting others, we need that support in return. If our staff are nurtured and cared for, they'll be better able to care for and nurture our students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Is there anyone online that wishes to make a comment? No? Okay, now we move on to new and unfinished business. Any board members?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a couple of things. I would like to know, in the contract with the busing company, if there's a penalty we can assess if they don't have working equipment on the buses when we need it. If I'm out of context, please stop me.
No, I'm sure that there is default provisions in the contract, and there's probably notice requirements. If it's like a standard contract, we have to put them on notice and give them an opportunity to cure any defect. As we discussed, I have to look at the contract. I'll get a copy from John, and I'll be prepared to discuss that with you.
Yes, because I would like to know just on the basis we have to audit this busing company because we're getting a lot of little things here and there that is not looking good.
Well, that's two different things, right? So like
Yes.
if we don't, I'll need to know what the defects are, and you don't have to tell me that right now. You could tell me that privately.
Yeah.
I'll look at the contract, but if you are looking to take a closer look at them to make sure that they're in compliance, that's something separate and different, okay?
Okay. And my second thing, actually are the water fountains in the schools. I know we still don't have, since COVID, we've stopped with the water fountains, okay? Are they accessible for the students to drink from? If they are, I would like to say if we can store filters in these waters that they maybe have an empty bottle and just filter up with the bottle instead of putting their mouth around the water fountain. Things have changed from, we could even just go 4 years back. So you used to drink in the water fountain and now people are less and less. So I would like to know if there's a way we could get filters on these, that the students can have a bottle, if they have an empty bottle, and just fill up instead of putting them out on the water fountains.
The fill station water fountains, we will
Yeah,
be transitioning.
We've started budgeting for continuing with that work that has already started. It might not be every single water fountain, only due to the fact that there's also electric that's needed for those fill stations. But yes, it actually was in the budget that we've talked about for the capital projects.
I'm good.
I have one question. As far as the LEAD program that we had and the students graduated in January in school number 8, are any other elementary schools that will be having this program available?
Yes, the Linden Police Department is partnering with, we're bringing on 2 more schools, so they were working out the dates and times, and so once that's set up, we will let you know, but yes.
Do you know what schools?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what schools?
It was school 1 and school 4. Those were the potential schools to start with, but the goal is to get all of them, so we're working at it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Perkins.
You're welcome.
I have a couple of questions regarding new business. One of the questions is regarding our virtual yearbook. Our virtual yearbook last year was amazing. And speaking to Ms. Hernandez again, she is claiming that it's going to be even more awesome this year, right? Yes, but one of the things that I have been concerned about is that the students that are actually involved in this yearbook is not being recognized. I think that several people think that a yearbook was published by Johnson's. Is it Johnson's? Or another company. They don't know is that the students at Linden is the one who actually designed, developed, and published our yearbook. These students need to get, what do you call it?
Credits.
The credits. So maybe at the beginning of the book, it should be say this book was designed, published, and everything by the students of Linden High School. What do you guys think about that?
That's a great idea.
Great.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
So, Ms. Hernandez, while you're designing the yearbook, could you put the credits? Is there any way possible that we could get a group picture of the students who also designed this yearbook to be placed in the yearbook or at the beginning or somewhere? What are your thoughts on that as well?
Great idea.
Agree.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people have no idea what's going on, and I'll talk about that when I give my comments, but a lot of people have no idea what's going on in their TV and media class. Those kids are very, very talented. They do a lot of hard work.
So, Ms. Hernandez, while you're working on the yearbook, would you see if you could get a picture of all the students that actually were involved in the yearbook? We need to give them credit for the work that they are doing. So when they're my age, they could sit down and tell the children, I did this, you know. Anyway, the next thing is the scholarships. Mrs. Hernandez, you're absolutely right. We do have some awesome people in our guidance department, and they are talking about scholarships, all right? Maybe we're not talking enough. You know, I was speaking to a board member, and the board member was telling me he has a child that is getting ready to graduate, and he still do not know how to, how do you say it?
Go about it.
To
Maneuver and see
maneuver
where we're
around
going.
getting scholarships. And he has a child in high school. So I think there is a disconnect. And we have to figure out what is the disconnect and fix it. Because all our students, as everybody agree, we have some amazing students with amazing achievements. I cannot see why these students who have all these amazing achievements is not leaving school with more scholarships. This is an area, even if we are working hard, and I am not discrediting or talking bad about anyone, but I just think that we need to
Put it out more.
put it out more, talk more about it, and that's why I said our scholarship committee needs to start in elementary school. We are really starting our scholarship programs too late. If we start it in elementary school and we keep talking about it, then parents will start asking more questions about it, and I think we will, it will become part. Scholarships is part of our curriculum. It should become part of our curriculum. This is why students go to school, to go to college. But we don't want to get them in debt when there's billions of dollars out there. So I know I talk about it every meeting, but I really think that everybody, it should be on the lips of the teachers, asking the students, did you apply for scholarships? Why not? Do you need help? Whatever. You know, I think we need to be, forgive me, I don't want to sound, because I know Mr. Mangel said our teachers were good, and they're very, very good, so I don't want it to sound in no negative way, right? But together, we could make our students get more scholarships.
Excuse me, Dr. B, how would you go about as far as like circulating the information to the younger students then? What would be your suggestion?
Well, I think if we started in the elementary school, we started scholarship committees in the elementary school. And if we could start scholarship committees in the elementary school, just like how we have It Takes a Village Award, it could be a council person involved. It could be a couple parents involved. It could be a couple teachers involved. We could even get maybe people who give scholarships involved. It doesn't have to be just teachers and students. It could be a committee of people from different areas that could partner to start talking about scholarships, and where we invite vendors in.
I totally agree with you on that part. But first and foremost, we need to get the parents involved, which meaning that they need to have a class about scholarships. This is what's available for our students. this is what we're going to do for our students, because first and foremost, our students are very important. And in order for the kids to get scholarships, parents don't know what's out there. Parents don't know what's available for their students. And like you said, we're going to start in elementary. Let's push it up for a little bit further so the kids can know what's available for them to have. And if we get it out to the parents, and I think it will be 100% involvement. So we have to make sure the parents are involved first and foremost, because we push too much on our teachers, because the teachers have an overload. So therefore, we need to let the teachers know that parents is there, give the parents the information, and then we can have a class for the parents to attend, a class with a scholarship, what's available. This is what's available for the student. This is what's going on. So why not we just take one step at a time and let them know that just because they're small, they're not small not to have what's out there for them. Okay?
Maybe like how they do a family fun night, they could do a scholarship,
Scholarship,
information
whatever.
night
Let them
maybe
have-
for the parents?
Right, let our parents be involved, because a lot of parents got a lot of things to do, absolutely. But when it comes to their kids, they stop everything and they come. So we get one night we're going to talk about scholarships. Just have, like she
I
said,
agree.
somebody come and talk about scholarships and let them know what's available for our students, as well as what's available for the teachers, because teachers is going to school. So we could start from beginning and to end, because it's like, each one teach one. You got to pull them up to make them want it. You got to pull them up to say, okay, they want me to do this, so why not give me what I need? So that's my point.
No, just to echo off that, I definitely think there's a disconnect, not with necessarily with the teachers, but maybe getting it to the finish line at home. So I think that's a great idea, Ms. Pino. And then also, I don't know if, like how widely this is known about, but we have the NJ Stars program that I was actually a part of. And it's for seniors and juniors that are in the top 15% of their high school class. You can go to community college for free. So I went to Union County College for free, and I know that sometimes there's a negative connotation about going away to community college, but I went away to community college, and then I transferred to Rutgers. It's a really great program. So just also making sure that not only are we telling our students about the scholarships that are out there, but a lot of the state programs that are available. And one thing that I really love about that program is that Rutgers had to accept all of my credits when I transferred over, because a lot of times when students are transferring, they run into a lot of problems. I think it's a state law. It's mandated that they have to, New Jersey institutions have to take their credits, because normally what they try to do is they try to stick you for your credits, and then you end up transferring and losing a semester's year of work, and that's a lot on the students and the parents financially. So it's a great program, and we should also be looking into, things outside of the scholarships, but what other things we have that are available that students can use to help pay for their tuition.
I also believe that Union County and Rutgers do have a program. The program is that when you enroll in Union County, you have to enroll in this program. I think if you maintain, if I am wrong, forgive me, but I know there is this program, if you maintain a GPA of over, I think was either 75 or 85, you could transfer to Rutgers and get your Rutgers degree for free.
Well, I don't know about that. I know that I was in
There is a program like that. It's paid for, but you have to enroll in it. There's a lot of different programs out there.
I was in two programs. I was in NJ Stars, which is where they transferred your credits, and then you got 2 free years of tuition at Union County College. And then I was in another program at Union County College, where if you maintained a certain GPA, you had automatic acceptance into certain schools. I don't know if that's the same program, but there's a lot of programs out there. I just think that sometimes students aren't aware of it. Ms. Crawley, who is now the principal at school number 5, she was my guidance counselor, and she pulled me out of my classroom to make sure that I knew about NJ Stars. So we do have a lot of great staff and administrators and teachers that are getting the word out there, but it's like also the disconnect between, going home and actually doing the application.
So we really need, to look right now. We have 465 students graduating on June the 25th. And I just want to make sure that every student have an opportunity. Some don't want to go away some don't want to go to the different colleges, but they need to know that if they take the Union County path, they could still graduate with a bachelor's degree and not incur a lot of student debt. Is that correct?
And you have 2 degrees, so it's, free tuition, 2 degrees.
But again, it starts with us talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. All right, so this is what we do, and we have to keep talking, because if you keep talking, eventually people would start listening. All right, another area of topic I wanted to go over, and I had a conversation with Rob. Rob, could you come up and explain to us the the peer program. You remember on Tuesday we were talking about the disconnect from the 8th or 9th grade, and you said that there was a program that was offered years ago. What was it called? What was it?
Peer leadership.
The peer leadership. Is it still going on right now? If it's not going on, I think the peer leadership is a program where the high school seniors meet with the 9th and 10th grade.
Great, yes, they serve
Would
as
you explain
mentors.
it? Yes. Mhm.
Yes. So I'll get more information from Mr. Coombs about the implementation of it. But peer leadership is exactly what it is. It's the peers serving as leaders within the school. So we would ask that our rising seniors and juniors serve as mentors to the underclassmen through all facets of their educational journey.
Because I remember when we had stopped the basketball, the football game, and we asked the seniors to go into the middle school and talk to the students. Our football star, he came to me and he said, "Doc, you know, I want to go and talk to the students." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I was one of them." He said, "When I was in middle school, I was so difficult. I was such a difficult student. And now in high school, here I am being honored." So he said, "I want to go to the high school, to the middle school, and I want to talk to the students because a lot of them in the middle school are just like the way I used to be." So maybe, Mrs. Perkins, I think we need to find a way to reinstitute that peer-to-peer program so that the seniors could now work with the 9th and 10th graders so we could strengthen our weak link, which is our 9th grade and our 10th grade. Because by the time the students are in the 11th and 12th grade, I think that they are well adjusted and focused on where they want to take their next step in life. The last thing I want to discuss today, the next thing I want to discuss today, Mr. Mangel, regarding support for staff and teachers, I want you to know that this board is very, very engaged with the teachers and the support staff. We are doing everything we can as a board to make sure the teachers, the staff, the students, and the parents know that we see each and every one of them. And if you look at the amount of professional development we are doing for our teachers and all the different initiatives that we are putting in place to make it safer for our teachers, like the yonder pouches, like the security system, like all the different stuff. Within the last year, we have put in, just in security alone, we have put in an average of 6 different initiatives to help keep our schools safe. Is that correct? And we continue to put initiatives in because we want to make sure that everyone that go into our schools are safe. And, you know, a teacher can't teach if they're not safe. A student can't learn if they're not safe. So we're doing everything we can to support everyone that attend the Linden School District. Lastly, my last concern is our graduation itself. Last year, our graduation was kept in the gym, in the indoor. We had in that room, we had a lot of people in there. Now, we know that we are experiencing climate change. So with climate change, we know we also went out and we searched for a venue and wasn't able to get a venue. So my question is, what are our plans just in case the 25th is renowned? What are our other options?
The graduation committee is building level under the leadership of Mr. Kuntz, and we are working on that. We will be able to provide the board with a more clearer plan by next month. So we will all, it requires our facilities, it requires security, as well as the graduation committee. So they're working on that.
One of my suggestions, again, We have Tiger Stadium, where Tiger Stadium is a big stadium. Is there any way, John, is there any way we could tent that whole place and make it secure if we have to? We don't need bleachers, but we could have chairs, like tent and chairs all around, and we could, I'm just asking, okay, it may sound weird, but what, the gym is too small. So as the gym is too small and we can't find another place, we have to look at all our options. It may or may not be possible, and I may be sounding crazy, but the thing is, though, what about that? You know, where you have a big tent and chairs all. I do not know if that is even possible. You laughing at it so funny, but we have to explore all options, right?
Are you?
I agree. I think committee is a great place
Yes.
to explore these options.
Yeah, but the thing is the rain. We're thinking about the rain. What if we get rained out? What do we do? Right? Anyway, bottom line is, you're right. We're going to leave it for the committee. But again, that's one of my thoughts. We have to start thinking about what is a backup plan. All right? So that's all I have to say about new business. Anybody have any other suggestions?
No suggestions, but I need to go into closed
Yes.
session very briefly with everyone.
So yes, so now we have to go into closed session to discuss some matters. So our last agenda item will be board comments, right? So if people would like to leave or stay, we would not be in session for too long, right?
We're not going to be in there too long, and we're not going to conduct any business when we come out. So if anybody wants to go on their merry way,
Yes,
then more than
no
welcome.
new business or anything. So if you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, we would love to see your pretty faces when we come back out.
So motion to go into executive?
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulisse?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes. Okay, we ready?
I don't want to brainstorm here because we never know what anybody's going to say. That's what I'm saying. Let's just do it in committee, and then they get expectations as to what to do.
Motion to come back
Motion
to
to-
public?
Yeah, to go back to public.
Second?
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulisse?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Okay. We will now continue with board member comments, and we will begin with Ms. Pino.
Good evening, everyone. I know it's late. I know everybody wants to leave, but I want to say thank you for everybody for coming out. We appreciate it, and thank you for your concerns. And it's been noted, and Ms. Perkins will get back to you with anything that you guys have asked today. And I just want to say to the kids that was up here, congratulations. You guys is fabulous, and we appreciate all of you, as well as the teachers and administration. Thank you very much. And I just have to shout out a couple of things. I went to school, too, for Special Olympics kickoff. It was fabulous. The kids was engaging with the parents, with the staff. I enjoyed myself, as well as I went to school for breakfast and breakfast. They had breakfast for us with the Black History, and I appreciate that so much. They sang, and they did a whole bunch of things with the poems. They made poems with different names on it, and I appreciate that so much, as well as I went to the high school, and it was Black History. The young girls was Black Culture Festival, and it was the first performance that they did, and they did a fabulous job. It was educational, and and all the young ladies participated, and I appreciate the invitation. And then the last one we went to was today. We went to school. Yes, thank you very much. We went to school 5, and it was a read-along. I went to different classes, and I read stories to the children, and it was very nice, because that's my element. I love the children no matter what. And I went to pre-K as well as K, the kindergartners, and it was really nice. And I want to shout out to all of them, because it was really nice. And everyone have a great evening. Thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate it. And like we said, and piggybacking off Dr. B with the scholarships, let's all get into it. You know what I'm saying? Just give us the information, what you want us to do and what we need to do, as well as what we need from you guys to help us, to help each other, because we want our kids to be very functional out here in this world. We want them to compete with everything that comes across the table with them. We do not want them to be denied for anything, because everybody say Linden first, right? We want our kids to be first as well. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pino.
You're welcome.
Ms. Ulysses?
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to piggyback on what Ms. Pino said. I don't want to be repetitive, but it's pretty much the same thing. And I just like to thank everyone for coming here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam?
Okay, I'm going to piggyback off both women, and I'm just going to say another thing where one of our both passings, my condolences to both families. But Ms. Pacelli, for some odd reason, my daughter was with her in 5th grade, and Ms. Pacelli didn't know me much. And the very first day I had an interaction with her, I was vice president of the PTA, but I don't think she knew I was the PTA vice president. And she didn't know I was the PTA president the year after Tanya left. And she gave me a little attitude. And I was like, wow, this teacher's a little rough around the edges. And she's been here for many years. But when she knew I was PTA, and we built a relationship. And I must thank Ms. Pacelli for pushing my daughter to where my daughter is today. Because Ms. Pacelli saw something in her, and I'm not knocking any of the teachers, and said she has the ability to be in honors classes. And to this day, my daughter, her lowest grade is an 89. And thanks to Ms. Pacelli, she has pushed her from that point forward. So Ms. Pacelli, wherever you are, keep looking upon my daughter, keep looking upon all your students, because you did a difference. Thank you very much, and condolences to her family. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Dela Cruz. Ms. Armstead?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll try to be brief. Well, good evening, everyone. I'll try to be brief. Just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. My condolences to our faculty that we lost, and then also just wanted to give a special shout out to Coach Dreha, because after his father passed, he still went on to coach the boys basketball team at last night's game, which I know must have been incredibly difficult. So just wanted to give him a little shout out. Also want to give a shout out to the TV and media class. I got to sit in on their class on Friday, and I got to watch the students create some short films with segments. They had Franklin High School also came in, and they were very collaborative. And it's really nice to see the fact that Linden School District is nourishing their minds. I think journalism, TV, production skill sets are overlooked a lot of times. I know when I went to school for journalism, my mom was like, why are you going to school for journalism? You're not going to make any money. And then I ended up getting a really good job after graduation. She was like, oh, I see why you went to school for journalism. So it's really good that we're nurturing and fostering, these students. We have one student that's sitting here actually manning the camera, and we have another one that's in the audience right now. So it was nice to see them in their element. They're very talented, and I think a lot of people don't know what they do in those classrooms, but they're putting together some quality content, and they will be some of our future executive producers one day. So shout out to them. Another shout out is to with Ms. Pino. I was also at the Black Cultural event. I know Savon also founded that club, so big shout out to her for putting that together. Looking forward to seeing the future productions. And another thing I wanted to mention, I saw on the girls softball page, they have tryouts coming out. I don't know if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they have tryouts coming out. So if you guys spread the word, and if you guys know anybody that's interested, just make sure you guys give that a little push so that the students are aware. And that is all from me. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Armstead. In honor of Black History Month, several board members and I attended the Black Cultural Festival on February 22nd. A sophomore student by the name of Savon Johnson organized the first Black Cultural Festival, which was held at Linden High School. Ms. Johnson and members of the Black American Culture Club did a phenomenal job on celebrating the African American culture. There was a guest speaker by the name of Amiri Tula, who informed us about a Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, which is located in Harlem, New York. The center is a focal point of Harlem's cultural life. The Schomburg Center functions as the leading national research library in the fields of African American and African descent. It was inspiring and admirable to see our youth collaborating together in order to celebrate and educate themselves about their culture. I also look forward to March, as it is celebrated as Women's History Month. And last but not least, thank you to my fellow board members, because this is truly a selfless position. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. A lot happened tonight, but we will continue moving our school district forward. I want you guys to go home, hug your children, tell them you love them, and make sure your kids do their homework. All right, thank you, and have a good night.
Motion to adjourn?
The meeting. Motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, motion.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Cintron?
Yes.
Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Pino?
Yes.
Ms. Ulysse?
Yes.
Ms. Armstead?
Yes.
And Dr. Berghammer?
Yes. Meeting adjourned?
Thank you all. Good night.